Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skyla.
Oh, dear. So, we thought this week we would try our hand at giving advice. Okay. Now, personally, I would like to say that I think I'm quite good at giving advice. Okay. A lot of like family friends, they often turn to me for advice and they tell me I give good advice. So, I'm thinking, I should be able to do okay. What about you?
I feel like it depends. My advice is usually advice that people don't want to hear, but what they need. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking, and
fair point.
That be that. But sometimes people obviously don't receive that very well. So,
I mean, when I ask you advice, and even for your age, I think you give really good advice. I have to be honest, So, but I hear what you're saying. Some people, they don't want to hear the truth, but I always say, if you don't want to hear the truth, don't ask me. But on that note, let's go. So, boyfriend confessed to cheating on me. So she says, my boyfriend of almost 4 years just confessed to cheating on me. Once when I was away on a work trip and once a few days ago, both within the last 3 months. He says he had an impulse for sex and she was available, someone who actively sought him out. He said there are no feelings attached to it. My first question was, why didn't you tell me you were having this urge? I know it sounds silly, but I truly wish he would have spoken to me about it. We are human and I don't fault him for having urges or feelings. It's the acting on it that really gets to me. I'm pretty much heartbroken. I didn't think he would ever do this to me. Truthfully, he's been an amazing partner up until the cheating. I'm still in shock, but I guess I'm just looking for advice. We live together and have 3 pets together. So, what's your advice, Skyla?
My advice, honestly speaking, would be to break up with him. That's my advice.
Well, I have to agree with that, but let's go a little bit deeper because you see, he confessed to cheating on her. Now, my thing is
but not after the first time, after the second time.
Right. Now, why after the second time? Did the girl who sought after him threaten to tell the girlfriend herself if he indeed did not tell her? Yeah. And so my thing is this. You say you had urges. He had urges. Yeah. So is this something that just came about recently or was it the whole relationship? The point I'm making is if you have that in you, it was in you from the start.
Yeah.
You may not have acted on it, but it's in you. But me personally, just you having them urges, even thinking that, don't get me wrong. I know men and women, we're human.
Yeah.
Okay. We're having human experiences. The point I'm making is that you can look at someone and find them attractive.
Yeah.
Okay. That is just human nature. However, I can look at somebody and find them attractive, but that doesn't mean that I then have sexual urges towards them. So that's my thing there. It's already in him and he's going to do it again. Let's be for real.
This is the thing. I feel like even if she was to continue to be in a relationship with him and, she kind of forgave him and they came to some resolution, I feel like no matter what, it would always be in the back of my mind. You're gonna do that to me again, especially because she said, he's been a great partner to her and she never would have thought that he would do this to her. I just personally couldn't see how.
I just get a feeling that he did it. He was doing it. He's done it before.
Because my thing is as well, is no shade or anything, but it does. Even though it's still bad, it doesn't sound as bad if it's like, oh, okay, this has only happened 2 times. Whereas no, I've been doing this like my whole relationship with you. That's ridiculous. And he knows that there would be no returning from that. So with men as well, it is a thing where, he's just telling her about these 2 occasions when in reality it's been how long? And also for me, when he's saying about these urges, so what, just to be with another woman, basically, not just that he really wants sex. And what, she's not giving it to him.
And he says there's no feelings, but from you having the thing to want to sleep with somebody, that is a feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, so that makes no sense. And to me, it's them classic lines that you're using. Like I've heard that one a lot where men will admit to cheating and say, oh, but it was just sex, it didn't mean anything. But it does mean something. Let's be for real.
No, for real.
Let's be for real,
But,
So basically, in a nutshell, our advice to you would be to leave him, because he's done it once, he'll do it again. Trust and believe that. Okay. And if you being accepting of it and saying, okay, then like, fair enough, he made a mistake, let's just keep it moving. Now you're just a pushover.
Yeah.
Now there'll be nothing that he won't do, because he'll be like, well, I've cheated on her twice and she's still here with me. So the level of, from he cheated on you, the level of respect has completely gone. And so you, in this case, you need to love yourself more than you love him, because clearly you love him more than you love yourself, because otherwise you wouldn't even be on the page asking for advice. Okay. So
and take the pets with you.
In the words of a very wise young lady who once said, once upon a time, straighten up your crown and move on. Okay. Right. Next one. 36-year-old male says, I feel stuck. So 36-year-old male here is in an 11-year relationship with a 33-year-old female. Before I say anything else, I do love her very much, but I don't know what to do. We have no kids, no pets. We live together. All my family loves her and her family loves me. The main problem is our intimacy. It feels like we're just roommates that share a bed. For the past 5 years, we might have been intimate twice. Okay. Every time I hear no or stop, I do. And it just hurts more every time I hear it. What should I do?
So when he says intimacy, like kissing, cuddling,
well,
all of that.
Yeah.
I honestly speaking, that's not.
But I think when he's saying intimate, he does mean sex. Because I mean, intimate in the past 5 years twice.
But he's saying when he hears no or stop or stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
and that's usually
trying to engage.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, well, honestly speaking, I think talk to your girlfriend instead of talking to strangers right now. Maybe there's some underlying issue or something that's changed in her that might be affecting her this way. Because if it's just the sexual aspect and you guys as a whole are still in a good relationship and you still have like good times together and stuff like that, then I don't think it's really a big issue, in the sense of it's not something that can affect your relationship enough to, let's say, break up with someone, you know. I think he should talk to her and come to an understanding. And because obviously he's not saying anything here like, oh, I spoke to her and, you know, she said, yeah, I just don't want to have sex with you or something like that. So I think I'm going to take it that he hasn't said anything. So yeah, I honestly think that talking to his girlfriend might help, because you don't actually know, like, no shade, but as a woman, I don't think she's going to be there for 5 years in a relationship with a man that she doesn't want to be with anymore. So maybe it's just something to do with sex that is changed,
and I have to agree with that. And once again, I've heard where women like basically said, oh, you know, like I've gone off sex type thing, and so then they have to try and find that spark back. So, you know, I agree with you. I mean, unless there's something, you know, like mentally that's a block, you know, was it something he did that put her off? Did something happen to her? I don't know. But my advice to you, sir, would be to speak to your girlfriend, your partner, and see if you can ascertain what the problem is. Suggest go into couples therapy, maybe. And, you know, once you get to the bottom of it, I think as well, being in a 5-year relationship, you have to try and keep it like alive. Like, you know, it cannot be the same old. You're going to have to like wine and dine her again. You know what I mean? Like women, a lot of the time we, you know, we are up for it. Don't get me wrong, but we like the whole foreplay, and the foreplay is that whole massaging feet, you know, candlelight and music and, you know, just playfulness, just literally, you know, there's a lot of, you know, like the word intimacy, a lot of people confuse intimacy with sex, but intimacy is being able to talk to your partner about your deepest desires and fears and this, that, those kind of things to me is a turn on and will make you want to be closer to your partner in the physical sense as well. Definitely. You know, but if you're just of a mindset where there's no kind of foreplay, or because like I said, you're in the 5 years, it's just a routine, you're going to have to switch up the routine, switch it up. Yeah. and come back and let us know how you get on. As if he's even listening.
You haven't even responded. You should probably go on all of their things that we've responded to and just put the YouTube link in the thing.
That's a good idea. I'll do that after, actually. And then if we do get any replies, we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is right. It says, I'm male, 14. I like a girl in the year below at school. I'm in the UK, where we are, and I'm in year 9. I like this one girl in the year below. The problem is a lot of people in the UK schools don't approve of dating someone in the year below. It would only be a 1-year age gap, but people think it's weird. I don't, but many do. I like the girl, and I know she likes me because I overheard her friend teasing her about it. I really like this girl. Should I pursue it or let it go? Now, Skyla, I'm going to be honest. I deliberately downloaded this one. I saved this one, because this conversation, I've heard you bring this up a lot.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a thing.
So,
can I just say my bit first? Only because I'm of that older generation, and I think that you being the age as you are, I think your thing probably would hit different, if you know what I mean. But me personally, I say, sweetheart, it's only a year below. Like, when you guys are in your 20s, that year isn't even going to matter. I do really believe, first of all, I do think you're too young to be in a relationship anyway, because you're only 14. Okay. So let's just be clear there. However, I don't think it's a big deal, the year, and her being the year below. And I don't know where this came from, but there's too much emphasis on it. Now, if you was a 6th former, then I would be like, no, do not pursue. But you're only a year older than her. And more than likely, she's probably going to be the same age as you before you are then another year older than her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Pursue her, invite her out to the cinema, and buy her some popcorn when you're watching the film. Okay, over to you, Skyla.
See, basically, I think the same thing, but I do understand where a lot of people have got this thing that is not good, because you'll see posts like, oh, that one year 10 boy who tries to move to a bunch of year 9 girls or year 8 girls. And where that comes from is not being funny, but secondary school is difficult because you go from the ages of 11 to 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a big age gap of students, all not even all teenagers, preteens to teenagers that are almost adults. And there is this age gap, but there will be boys or girls that are, let's say, in year 10 or 11 who look quite old for their age. They're a different maturity level to, let's say, the year 9s and below. And sometimes these year 10s or 11s will embark, mostly boys, will embark on relationships with these younger girls. And it just looks crazy weird and it seems disgusting. And so in some situations it is, because these boys are 16 and the girl's 14.
See, but I don't agree with that. I really don't, because
these boys, mama, they have gone through puberty and the only thing on their mind is sex.
That's why I said I don't agree with it.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you didn't agree with the sense that there's a thing on it.
No.
So this is why I feel like, because there's situations like that, some people find there's a blurred line between then a situation like this where the boy is 14 and the girl's a year below him and they're in year 9 and 8, which I think is perfectly fine because you are still in the same age group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's 16 and she's in year 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I honestly think there's nothing wrong with it. And as someone who is with someone who's a year below me, even once I'm in college now, it doesn't make a difference. We're not even in our 20s yet, but being 17 and the fact that he's 16, a few people giggle when I say that. But the way I look at it is, in college, when people see us walking together, no one in their head is thinking,
exactly.
Oh, like, even when he was still in secondary school when I was in college, I felt like such a weirdo for that. But then when I sat there and deeped it, I'm like, I'm not being funny, but there's crosses a point where we're the same age for 2 months.
Exactly.
There's not a big difference there. So I think do what the hell you want and don't give a shit what anyone else is saying, because at the end of the day, for you could be with that girl and marry her and be with her for the rest of your life, and what the fuck are they doing? Who are they with? So another thing as well is just jealousy. And if your friends take the piss out of you, just say, oh well, you ain't getting no play and I am. So
exactly. So go and live your life, boy. Okay, this is our final one. Okay, and it goes like this. Okay, that's how short it is. That's fine. My girlfriend is at yoga and I just found proof of her cheating on me with my best friend. What do I do? I found texts of them saying, oh, sorry, it's his grammar. I found texts of them talking about how badly they want each other, which she forgot to delete. They were quickly deleted 3 seconds after I saw them. We've been together for 5 years and he's been one of our best friends for the last 2.
Okay, so first of all, here he's not really saying how they met this guy, or
does that even matter?
No, because he says our best friend for 2 years. So
yes.
Which one of them did he meet first? Did he meet the girlfriend first, or did he meet the boyfriend first? Because I'm not being funny. If the girlfriend introduced him as, oh
no, but maybe they met him at the same time, because he says our. Okay, but why is the our in quotes?
This is what I'm saying, Mama. That's why, because in some situations, not being funny, but people
maybe
are
he was
and underhand, and she would.
Well, he's in the beginning. He says my best friend.
This is what I'm saying.
So it was his friend.
Okay.
So it's his friend.
Okay, but either way, I don't really understand what he was asking. If you found the messages and you know she's cheating on you, break up with her and say fuck you to your friend and move on with your life.
Basically, make sure that you before you blast them with it, I would start gathering evidence, because what they're going to try to do, especially your girlfriend, she's going to try gaslight you. Okay. So, you need to follow her or get someone to follow her and just basically get your proof. But, Skyla's right. You just need to get to step in. I'm not really for one
grabbing up evidence and confronting people and all this.
I'm not really.
Just break up with her and say, because
sometimes a person can speak to a person in a way that can convince them that maybe they didn't see what they saw or they didn't hear what they heard. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, just for his peace of mind, so that he knows without a shadow of a doubt that this is what is happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Before he steams rolls in there, he's got to be on a sure foot. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really one to advise anybody to stay in a relationship once somebody cheats on them. I mean, especially with why? Your best friend at that. That's what I'm saying. And I just feel that, you can forgive a person, but move on, because you're just leaving yourself open for them to continually disrespect you, and not just in that way, but in other ways as well. And I just don't see that. I just don't see the point in that. I personally believe that you need to love yourself first and foremost before you can, love it that way. Then when things like this occur, as much as it may hurt, for your own peace of mind and your self-respect and your self-worth, you should be able to just pick yourself up and walk away. Because you stay in the relationship. Every time she's late home from work, every time she says she's going yoga, heaven forbid she decides she's taking up a new sport, you're not, you're gonna be there wondering, is she cheating on me? And not necessarily with your best friend, with anybody at this point, and you'll start convincing yourself that's what she's doing, even if she's not. So kick her to the curb, mate. You deserve better than that. She's no good. And there's a woman out there that would treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, and would be loyal to you, and wouldn't even look at your best friend. You know what I mean? You could even, your best friend could try it and she would just not only box him in his face, she'd actually come and tell you. Do you know what I mean? Not just, because that's my thing again. If that's how you really feel, then why cheat on the person? Just leave them, innit?
For real, this has always been my thing.
But anyway, that's all our questions. And if you're interested in any of the answers and whatnot, we got all of these from Reddit. So that is us for this week. So thank you so much for joining us. And as always, I'm sending you an abundance of love and light. It's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skyla.
Bye.
Bye.